Tired of losing offer after offer after offer in bidding wars? Well, don't go anywhere because this video, my friend, is for you. I'm gonna give you 5 tips on how you can make your offer more appealing to sellers and ultimately catch that very important dub and lock down your future home. Okay, so I was just watching back the video that I just recorded. I'm not gonna record it again because I already had to do it twice. But I just wanna say, I don't know why I had AirPods in my ear, maybe because I'm a realtor, but those AirPods serve no purpose in my ears, okay? Just a quick disclaimer. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Marco Sen, your favorite realtor, and in today's video, like you heard in the intro, I'm giving you some tips, but not just any tips to finally get that offer accepted. Tip number 1 is the price. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. What is this guy talking about? So obvious. Obviously, the highest price is gonna get the property, but that's not what I mean when I mention price. What I'm saying here is if you're pre-approved up to a certain price point, say you're pre-approved up to $500,000, you shouldn't be shopping for properties that are listed at $500,000. In a market like this, you need to understand that going into a bidding war is just part of the game, and that agents are actually listing properties well below market value to create that bidding war. So you gotta take that into consideration and shop for properties that are listed $50,000 to $100,000 below what your pre-approval is for. That way you're setting yourself up to be able to compete and lock down the property that you actually really wanna get. Number 2 is the important dates for the seller. You have to know what they're looking for in terms of closing date, because you don't know the seller's situation, right? You don't know if the seller is selling this house but then needs to go out and find another property where it could take them anywhere between 3 to 6 months depending on their strategy and depending on what they're looking for. So you want to be able to tailor your offer to give them the time they need to do whatever they want, right? If you're dealing with a vacant property, now you got to know the seller's paying out of their pocket to hold this property. So more than likely, they're going to be looking for a quick closing. So you want to tailor your offer and make sure that you provide the quickest closing possible. So very important, make sure you tailor to the closing date that the seller is looking for. All right, tip number 3, the deposit. The deposit is very important because what the deposit essentially does to the seller is it shows that you got some skin in the game, shows that you're serious about purchasing this property. The higher your deposit is, the more serious you look as a buyer. So what you want to do is you want to bring that deposit up as high as you can. I've seen people put in deposits that was their whole 5% down payment. I've seen people put in an all cash deposit. I've seen people put in a 20% deposit. As high as you can go, you're going to want to do it, because at the end of the day, the deposit on closing is either going to go towards your down payment or it's going to come back to you on closing. So go as high as you can with the deposit. It really makes a difference, because what happens is if a seller has very identical offers or offers that are very, very close, 10 out of 10 times you're gonna go with the one that has the higher deposit. Number 4, submit your pre-approval letter from the bank or from your mortgage broker with your offer. And more importantly, actually have one that is very up to date, that's very recent, that shows that this pre-approval was done not too long ago. Now, when a seller is looking at different offers, their main concern is obviously the price, but their second most important concern is, can this buyer close? Can this buyer actually get the financing needed in order for me to get paid on the closing date? And one way to do that is by providing the pre-approval letter. That shows that your lender is saying that you were pre-approved for this amount, so you can afford this. Now, I did also mention you want one that is up to date. You don't want to be submitting a pre-approval letter that's 90 days old, because then the sellers are going to start asking questions like, is this person still working the same job? Do these people have the same hours? Are they still getting paid the same amount, or has something changed? So you don't want them second guessing your pre-approval letter. So make sure that you have one that is very recent, and to take it up a notch, make it specific to this property. Make your mortgage broker actually write down the address of the property on that pre-approval letter. Very powerful, and it could be the difference between you getting the property and not. Finally, number 5, and this one may even be important than price, and it is in a lot of cases, and that is how clean your offer is. How many conditions do you have in your offer? Most of the time, if not all the time, the offer with the least amount of conditions is going to win. Now, what are conditions? Conditions are made to protect the buyer when you're putting in an offer. It gives the buyer a chance to back out of the deal if whatever is written in that condition doesn't happen. So for example, if you have a finance condition, you have X amount of time to get your finances in order, or else you can actually back out of the deal. The same thing for the inspection. You have X amount of time to get an inspection done, see if there's anything major wrong with the property, and if there is, or if there's even the smallest thing that you don't like, it gives you a chance to back out of the deal. So sellers don't like that. And in a market like this, a lot of buyers are more savvy and they know that they have to go in with an offer that has no conditions or as little as conditions as possible. But how do you do that and still have the peace of mind? And that's by doing your due diligence. And a couple ways to do that is to make sure that you have your pre-approval ready to go prior to submitting an offer. You should not be shopping for homes in a market like this before you have that pre-approval letter from your banker or from your mortgage broker saying that you are good to go up until this amount. Now, it gets a little bit more tricky when you're dealing with inspections, but there are some ways to give yourself that peace of mind to know that there's nothing serious wrong with the home, or if there is, you can budget for it before actually putting in the offer, and you can do that through a pre-offer inspection. And what a pre-offer inspection is you actually go into the property with your inspector before the offer presentation date, run a full inspection, and make sure and give yourself that peace of mind that you know what you're getting into. Well, there you have it, guys. Those are 5 tips that will make your offer more appealing and hopefully help you secure your property. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below, and I want you to go out there and actually try these and let me know if they work. If this channel gives you any kind of value at all, please make sure to subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you in the next video.